all players must wear a comprehensive genital defense apparatus.
This is the Rob Dibble Show.
All right, let's do some more daily pick. It's nice to see Jacob Degroms back on the mound. I mean, I was teaching his mechanics to young kids like 6-7 years ago when he broke into the league. He's got such great mechanics up on the mound. It always sucks when these guys get hurt. So it was nice see this guy come back. I mean, Max Scherzer, some of these other Verlander. Some of these guys are really good at teaching how to do certain things and play in the major leagues.
Yeah, first win for DeGrom in 2 years for him to get that yesterday. But good for him. And especially, a world where, gosh, every time I check the headlines of Major League Baseball, I'm seeing another IL insertion, especially from the pitcher's mound. But this guy, and we've always said this, especially for him, if he can do this on a consistent basis, the Rangers are really a player.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, Eovaldi is consistent self. I mean, that guy's going to give you good stuff.
Yep.
DeGrom this month has been fantastic. The 5 inning was his first start. Actually one he went 4. 5 2/3, 4, but 7, 5 1/3, 6 yesterday. But he's not getting lit up. 4 earned runs in 1, 0 and another 3, 1, 2, 0 last night. He's got a 2.70 ERA. I mean, if that guy has to be my 2 or 3 in my rotation after being a 1 for so many years, so be it. I think that, listen, you become smarter after injuries. You understand you're limited to do certain things. You can do other things well. He's only had one bad outing as far as walks go, and that was the loss against Seattle where he walked 4. But his last 3 outings, 1 walk only in 20 innings. So I just think that it's refreshing to see a guy, come back from injury, but also come back and be helping his team, win some ball games. And right now he's 3-3 in the team record in his 6 starts are 3-3, but one was a 4-3 loss, another was a 5-3 loss. He's keeping his team in games and going into the 6th inning.
Yeah, the one thing too about that win, as people might see, it's the A's, not the Oakland A's, the A's. That's a good baseball team, man, especially with their lineup. Like they've been competing since this season started. They're a lot better than half of these franchises out there, just hitting the baseball. So they're not a pushover anymore.
No,
so
they're 500. Yeah. Listen, if you were to say 30 games in that they'd be 15-15, I'd laugh at you. Because it looked like they had been gutting their team like some of these other teams have done, like the Chicago White Sox and the Rockies. Right now, Colorado Rockies are on pace to win 22 games.
That's horrible.
It is horrible, and it's bad for the sport. You can't have product out there that is so subpar that people are laughing at you, and that has now become a topic, what the Rockies are doing. So Chicago White Sox the last couple of years, I know you're trying to rebuild or retool or do whatever the hell you're trying to do, 7-22. But when you look at the Oakland Athletics, and now they're not even in Oakland, where are they? Sacramento.
Sacktown.
Let's call them Sac A's.
Sac A's.
15-15. If they weren't such a bad fielding team and could get some better pitching, they're actually second in the American League West in runs scored at 125.
Yeah.
So they can hit. Just not pitching great, and certainly aren't picking the ball up.
Well, it's Luis Severino tonight and Nathan Eovaldi on the other side for the Texas Rangers.
Well, they know each other well. Yankees, Red Sox, former Yankees, Red Sox pitchers right there.
I really think the A's, like Severino's serviceable. I liked J.P. Sears, I think, is a winner. He's their 3rd spot in the rotation. Jeffrey Springs has really come around, and Beto, he's a decent 4th guy. It's where the bridge gap between those starts and getting to the flamethrower that they have in Mason Miller is a big problem for that team, but that's for everybody, man.
Mason Miller's not getting a lot of work. He does have 9 saves in those 15 wins, but how
I got
about
a
this?
feeling he's going to be trade bait.
11 innings pitched, 6 hits, 22 strikeouts, 2 walks.
He's trade bait. He's the best closer in the league. He's a closer. Like, he's one of the – who else would you say right now?
Nobody. There's nobody even close. But for him, it's not easy to not pitch often and stay sharp. So I remember Eckersley in 90 when he won the Cy Young. He had 4 walks the entire year. And I actually looked that up, because I was looking at something else.
Unreal.
So I don't care if you're a closer or starter, but, whether you throw 75 innings, you only walk 4 dudes, out of hundreds of guys you face. I think that's pretty impressive. So for Mason Miller, it's get the guy regular work. It's not easy to throw bullpens. It's not easy to stand out there and watch 30 games and only pitch in 9. So like you said, he may get traded and you might get 5 guys back for him, but that's not going to necessarily be. He wants to be an A. He came up an A, and you can see when we have Dallas Braden on, Dallas bleeds Oakland Athletic colors. I mean, Dallas loves his team. I love the Reds because I was with them for 11 years out of my 13 professional years. So I think for some of these guys, it's tough to get to a level where now I should get paid. We're going to trade you. And I think that you've got teams that do this. Cincinnati does this. Tampa Bay does this. The Marlins do this. I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather have some kind of salary cap situation where you're forced to have a floor. I'm not worried about the cap. I'm worried about the floor where these teams like even the White Sox, the Rockies can't be trash and throw $70 million when other teams are throwing $300 to $350 million. And that's a great product. I mean, I don't care if the Mets win or lose. Damn it. Steve Cohen's trying to win.
Yes.
I don't care if the Dodgers win or lose, but damn, you got $1 billion in deferred money?
Yeah.
What companies do that crap?
No
I mean, that's because they're investing back into the company. Mm-hmm. So I just think, and you get to see Shohei. You get to see all the best Japanese players. And, some teams are going to complain. But the Yankees have been doing it for 100 years. Right. They've always had a top 5 payroll. So I just – something's got to happen. I don't want to see a lockout next year. I don't want to see the owners try to, half-ass get a collective bargaining agreement reopened because they screw it up. They've got to get on the same page. Now, we talk about the NFL, the NBA, and how these owners, they don't get along. The NHL, at least they understand their product, that they tried to have a better product years ago. They did have a strike, and it's been better ever since. This is what's going to happen to Major League Baseball. You can't have like the all and the nothings and continue to be successful. I think even in Florida, you got 2 teams playing in minor league fields right now. What? No, that'd be the equivalent of the NBA playing in like college gyms where there's like 5,000 people could come see them. Could you imagine? People would like riot, but Major League Baseball is allowed to get away with that. I don't understand why people don't boycott Tampa Bay and Oakland and say, listen, we've had enough. We can't stomach any more of this college crap that you're trying to throw at us.
We'll see what happens with the baseball this afternoon and tonight. We got some good matchups. Lucas Giolito is going to be on for the Boston Red Sox against the Toronto
I hope
Blue
he stays
Jays.
healthy.
I do too.
He's fun to watch.
He's so big.
What's that like, though, as a start? You come in, you're all juiced up. As far as your chemicals, like you're the adrenaline.
Well, he's on the road too.
You
he's
haven't
in
been
Toronto.
for a year though.
Which
Tommy
might be
John.
better.
It's been a while.
It's
what
been,
are you doing?
It's been a while. He's hungry. He wants to impress. That's a problem. So you got to try to, if you're the pitching coach and the manager, be like, listen, ease into this. You might not have a pitch limit, and in the back of your mind you have 75, 85 to probably throw.
Right.
But let's not throw 75 in the first inning. Let's try to get through the first 3 outs. Then get into the game, and here's the thing: if your team could get you a couple of runs, that would soften everything. Now you're up 2-0, and you could go out there and you could work into the thing. And also, listen, I like the kid. I think you've got really good players on that team. I think Bregman has become a big leader on that team. Bayo just came back from injury, so they have another guy that they just kind of got in there. I think that, listen, they know what they're doing. The trainers, the doctors, they know what they're doing. But you make a great point. It's hard to stop a player from hurting himself, meaning going out there and trying to throw 95 the first pitch. Go out there, try to get some command and concentrate. Here's the one thing I was taught as a high schooler: concentrate on your breathing. Concentrate on trying to lower your heart rate because you're going to be psyched up. Nobody's more psycho than me on the mound. Could you imagine if I didn't try to calm myself down? I mean, I was already wanting to pull my skin off my face. So I think for anybody in this situation, he wants to impress. He wants to get it all back in the first start.
Yeah.
I personally always look at these rehab guys that come back, give them 3 to 5 starts before you start judging what his stuff looks like and what he looks like, because honestly, it's more important how he feels after the start tomorrow. That's probably the most important part of this process.
I'm interested in the Mets starter tonight. Now, you might know this guy on the mound for the Mets. He's made some appearances. You may know him from Major League Baseball because he's 35, but Huascar Brazoban does not make starts. And they have Manaea injured, they have got Montas injured, and they've got no other options. And they're playing against Patrick Corbin tonight.
Well, he's an opener. And listen, Patrick Corbin is very, very beatable. And that's what you're thinking.
He has been.
Yes, he has been. But from Brazoban, you're thinking if he could get 1 or 2 innings, maybe 3, that's gravy. They do more of these bullpen things, but you got 8 guys. If they did a bullpen game in my day, it would have been not hard because we had 2 guys that were spot starters. They could go 5. They could go 5 that they wanted to go 5. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So for this cat, dude, he is a tall drink of water. That's what we would call this guy. 6'3", 155.
155?
He could use a protein shake and some steaks.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, he's from the Dominican Republic. He is a tall drink of water, as you would say in years past. But, yeah, if you could get 2 or 3 out of this cat and be in the game. Listen, the way they've been scoring runs lately, I think the Mets are thinking when they show up for these games, like I said, their team ERA is 2.6, but when they show up, they're expecting to win now.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, if Soto all of a sudden catches fire, Lindor, all these
possible.
guys, they
is hot.
They honestly have one of the better lineups. Alvarez stays healthy. McNeil starts hitting like when he won a batting title. Some of these guys are really good players. Marte's hitting 200. He's got 7 home runs, but the guy's not hitting. If these guys really start hitting to go with that pitching, I think they could build a nice lead over everybody in the NL East. Listen, the Braves suck. They
got the Rockies for a couple here coming up, so maybe they'll get back to the right.
But every time your announcers go, "Hey, we should get right against this team," that was like the Red Sox, and then the White Sox take 2 out of 4.
Mets, Diamondbacks tonight. That one starts at 7:10. The Red Sox and Blue Jays. That one in Toronto again. Weird, funky 7:07. New York Yankees back in Baltimore for the last one here. 5:55 with the pregame. 6:35 first pitch. That's Carrasco versus Povich. Heartbreaker in stores yesterday, well, at least a heartbreaking top of the 4th. Check this out, man. UConn, Rutgers, RPI game, Big Ten matchup against Rutgers. Big one there. Rutgers only 21-23 coming in. UConn on that 13-game win streak. UConn stayed hot, started the game, bottom of the first, put up 6. Then they gave some back, bottom of the third, put up 3 more. They're up 9-3 going into the 4th. Gave up 10 in the 4th. It's a rough 4.
What was the final?
13-11. Rutgers win by 2. Rough.
Ugh.
They got Rhode Island today, same time, 6:05, out there at the campus of UConn.
Give it to those Rams.
Give it to those Rams.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do the first tips question of the day. About 45 minutes from now, Dan Lust will join us. We'll talk some lawyer stuff. Woo! Some stuff that we normally don't cover on this show, but Dan is a sports lawyer. He's been great on the Shannon Sharp stuff. We'll ask him some stuff about the revenue sharing that is going to be a big topic here, and even the NIL and stuff like that. I mean, when do you get control of this NIL stuff that's going on in sports, where people are saying, I want $4 million, demanding money, or I'm not going to play quarterback for you. We'll talk to Dan Lust coming up next hour. It's the Rob Dibble Show. Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Thank you so much for keeping us on the air. Kirk Kaplan on the 1s and 2s. John Ashmead is back on our YouTube channel. We'll be right back.